So, do you have any questions on anything that's been assigned or any trainings that we've done?
I think for the income calculation that we did yesterday, so we just did the annual income and then divided by 12. So for that instance, we don't need to use the income calculation sheet.
So, when it's a salary employee, sorry, they get the income documents as, or their income is usually a set amount annually. So,
Mhm.
based on the pay stubs that you had screenshotted, I saw that it seemed like they're getting an hourly income. Let me start recording real quick, or not recording, sharing my screen. So this was one of the pay stubs. So this rate right here, it shows like this is how much they get paid annually. So even though
Oh,
they are working hours, 40 hours, it seems like this is their salary. This is how much they are going to get at the end of the year. So the way the salary works is their annual salary amount, and then you're going to divide that by the 12 months, and then that's going to be your monthly income.
and how do you know that it's a salary employee?
Usually it's on the pay stubs, it'll show like salary, like their annual income. But in case like this case, this $57,000 is not how much they're getting per hour. And even if this was the rate, $57 times 40 is 2,000. That's not how much this amount adds up.
So if they don't have how hourly rate, it's a salary.
For the most part, yes. And then you said you had a self-employment income um, that you needed to go over, and we were going to go over this training session.
It's not. That's a salary employee.
I thought you said it was a self-employed.
Self-employed.
No?
That's the one.
So then let me go through. So our income, we have the ones that we've been going over, our W-2s.
Mhm.
These are W-2 employees you can get when they are either hourly or their salary. So when their salary, let me see, I don't have a file off the top of my head that has a salary, but if it's a salary income, what file is this for? So for example, this file right here, they're stating that they are getting a salary income. So their pay stub, it says salaried, and then it doesn't have the hours or the rate blank. So it looks like they're getting 4,750 for
Mhm.
this pay period here from the 1st to the 15th. So if they're getting, it's a biweekly, so then you can do 4,750 plus 4,750. Their monthly income should be 9,500. Based off of the letter that we have here, shows that they are getting 9,500. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So the pay stub that where's the email? The pay stub that we have here, I'm seeing that they're working the full 40 hours, but it seems like they are on a salary income. So
Mhm.
we're just dividing their annual salary, the 57,496, divide that by 12 to get our monthly income. I don't see any other. So apart from that, on our full doc as well, we have our what we call self-employed income. So when we do self-employed income, we need our tax returns for personal and for the business tax returns. So now here's where it gets a little bit more complex when it comes to self-employed, because there's self-employed borrowers that do a Schedule C, which comes in their personal tax returns. So they're not going to have a separate business tax return. Let me see if this one will have it. This one. So this Schedule C, if on their personal 1040 tax returns. So our tax returns, when it's 1040, it's the personal tax returns. So when they have this 1040 and they have this Schedule C within the 1040, that means that they are self-employed. The only thing is that they don't have an LLC or corporation for their business. So that's why when we would calculate the income based off of the Schedule C. There are other business tax returns that if the bar has a LLC or a corporation, then they create this business tax returns, which we would have I don't think this has X. We'll have the 1120, we'll have the 1120S, and we can have I think it's 1065? 1065. So these different tax returns depends on what the way their business is. So like I said, so whenever you get these different business tax returns, you always want to label it based on the form that the actual form is. So this 1120S is because this business is an S corporation versus this 1120 is just a corporation. The 1065, it's a partnership. I'm not sure if I've already shared this income calculation worksheet that I have for this business as well. Business tax self-employed, we also have to get 2 years tax returns. So if we're using this one for Salvador, so let me go back to this worksheet here. So this income calculation, it has the different schedules or different tax returns. So usually you put the bar's name, the date, and then the years 2023 and 2022 because we do need 2 years, right? We have the Schedule C here. We have the partnership. This is the 1065. So within the 1065, we make sure we have a Schedule K1 and they have W2 forms, and then obviously the form 1065. With every single one of these different options, you'll just be inputting, but we'll calculate income based off of each each of them different on a separate training session. We have our S Corp. Again, our S Corp is going to be our 1120S. Again, as well within the tax returns, you have to have this Schedule K1, their
Mhm.
W-2s, and their 1120S form. Okay, so that's why we always ask them to provide the full pages of their tax return. So because we need to include the Schedule K1 to calculate part of income, we need their W-2s and the actual 1120S form. Okay,